Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. It's a better week. We learn from ourselves, we learn better things, and here we are again. So this week, I'm learning more about being more resilient, and I've always known that I've been resilient as an autistic person. Despite all my struggles with autism and mental health challenges over the years, always known that somehow deep inside of me, I've been resilient. And sometimes we don't really see it as in a big picture. Even though I have all these challenges and all these little things, and sometimes I do throw a pity party, and I'm learning that it's okay to throw a pity party, but we have to keep it to ourselves. We have to be resilient. We have to recover from it, and we have to move on. This week has been a very it's not been a bad week, but it's been some eye-opening moments, that's for sure, and we're moving forward from them. But it's making me realize how thankful and how grateful I am, in a sense that um just getting out there and doing stuff and being who I am and being more of doing all the things in the world that make me who I am, but also the things that are such a challenge sometimes, because as an autistic person, the world is not built for me always. And sometimes we have to get through those challenges, and getting through those challenges sometimes is tough. It is brutal. It will tear you down. Sometimes it's just the hardest things. And when you come home from having all those challenges, or being faced with brutal honesty or harsh words that may be honestly the truth that you may need to hear, sometimes it can be hard to accept them, and you want to act immature like a little kid and not want to be the adult and take what you want to learn. And sometimes that's being the adult and being honest with yourself is one of the hardest things that you have to do. It's been a very long time. It's been a very long journey that I've been on, and more so with a lot of things in my mental health, even from taking little steps of relapsation, and spending a lot of times not doing it over the course of possibly a decade, and now realizing the damage that was done and how I feel now that I'm somewhat back into a normal rhythm sometime down the road. And it's always a challenge every day. It's fighting that battle every day, but it's also seeing within the start of a new day the promises of it that it brings, and the ending the day on a good note, and being sure that you follow through with everything you need to do. It's also knowing that you have to keep your independence, and what that takes for an autistic person such as myself to do. It takes a lot of things. It takes a lot of strain out of you. It takes a lot of stamina, and sometimes it wears at you. It tears you down. But one thing I do is I don't give up, and I think that's the one thing I have to realize is I don't give up. Yes, sometimes I do throw a pity party. Yes, sometimes I do get upset. Sometimes I want to say the "woe is me" song and complain about how life is. But anymore, I'm learning that is something that I do behind closed doors, and I don't allow it to spread on to other people, because there's so much good in me in life. And it's just it's amazing the good regards this week I've gotten. I don't know if anybody's followed me throughout the week, and it has been a week just to get back to some state of normalcy from where we left off over last weekend. As you may know, I did shoot the vlog for last week kind of late. We had a power outage last Friday, and that was a week ago, and a lot of normalcy in my world did not get restored until the following Monday. And as such, my schedule was thrown behind, um, and I didn't get back into some sort of real normal state of just myself getting the rest that I need until Wednesday. And I did record the vlog on Wednesday when I did wake up, but or Tuesday, I believe I recorded the vlog. But I was just so, by the time I did all that, I was just so drained. And moving forward from Wednesday on, things started to pick up even better. But there's been things, that can cause sadness or upsetness, but it's the drive and the determination that goes on. It's things that we do because we know we have to do them and we have to be better at them. It's knowing that, you have to make the right choices in life. Yeah, even as an autistic adult, there's so much that could go wrong and could go wrong if I allowed it to, but I don't give up. And I think that's the thing about it. You just can't. And that's what keeps me so resilient and so independent. Even when thinking or nearing or knowing that if you continue down a certain path in your journey, you will end up in a very unlikable and unwanted situation. And so you have to have that determination and grit to keep going and, put forth the effort, and just do those do what you have to do, even though if it's not the what you think is what you want, or maybe having a flawed brain and thinking that the thoughts of what you think you want to do is flawed, when in reality, deep down inside it's the right thing to do. And sometimes that's hard to believe. Sometimes it's hard to hear the truth. Sometimes, somebody's brutal honesty when saying something, or when you hear something that is just seems so unreal to be true, can just tear you to shreds and make you wake up and say, hey, I gotta do this or my life's gonna be screwed up. So it was one of those moments this week too that really set the tone with me, and as such it bonded my mother and I, and so many others, so close together, and it made me regroup things and think, things are so much better. And when I go off that path, people sort of know. I think so long I think I can camouflage it or mask it, but in reality, I know people know and they can sense it, and I see the moves that are made. I see the defenses that are put up. So, and likewise for me as an autistic individual, when things become triggering or traumatic for me because of past events or past instances, I too will get defensive and use my defense mechanisms and my coping strategies to properly manage myself, to get through the challenges that I have to face so that I can get through them. But when I get home, I wanna unleash that fury, and that's where the proper defense mechanisms and coping strategies have to come in, because you have to learn how to take care of you. I'm starting to learn more and more that food is not the answer to the problem. We may think food is the answer to the problem. Obviously, if you look at me here in the camera, I'm a very heavy set man. I've been on my medication for that has caused a lot of appetite and a lot of weight gain for over 20 years. So, that's part of, I'm over 300 pounds and I'm trying to work at that. And that means, sometimes you have to say no to something. You have to say no to overeating or just randomly, willy-nilly going into the refrigerator and just eating at random whatever you want, or picking food that you want that's not helpful to you. Sometimes it means you have to get your big boy pants on, literally, like your sweatpants, and your gym outfit, and take your gym shoes and go to the gym and work out a couple days a week. And I did that this week. And I have to say that once I got there and once I got settled in and was really in my moment and was able to adjust the things the second day, what I wanted, I felt much better and I got a lot more done, and I felt really good about myself. And I hope I continue down that path this weekend. I know I have to, and I'm starting to be more engaged and more committed in things. And we have to learn that too. The medicine does that, and being on the medicine more will help with that in return. I think sometimes we deflect ourselves just as much as we deflect ourselves on food. Things aren't helping. But the same with food. If I don't want it, I don't want it. And I'll give you a quick example on that. So, one of my triggering foods is deli meat and deli cheese. I used to be able to eat it, and go to town on it. I could eat it forever. I could eat it before we even got out of the parking lot. If my mother was talking to somebody in the store, in the parking lot of the store, and I would sit in the car and eat. And I just know lie to you, my vloggers and friends. But honestly, for the past few years, I've always put the food in the trunk because I have to carry it up the steps. All those behaviors. And this time I did buy some deli meat and I did buy some deli cheese over the last week, over the yesterday. And it's amazing to say, and it's honestly awesome to say, that I just didn't eat it random. I put it in there. I had it last night. I had a sandwich and a half. I didn't even finish the full second sandwich. And that, I didn't just eat any at random, which is a big step. I always had this feeling, and I know this is getting a little bit of one slope, but it's sort of a behavior. So it kind of needs to be understood. So like, when I would always bring deli meat and cheese home, this wasn't even here on my own. It would be, just when I would live with my parents, I'd always have to have a piece of cheese or a piece of meat when I come home. It's the behavior. It was that comforting behavior that, oh, you went and got it, and oh, you're going to be comfortable with it. And so, but you know what? I didn't do that this time. I said, this food's going to be fun. We've got it from this grocery store for however many years they've been open. They've been open for probably 3 years. Went and got it, put in a fridge, didn't touch it. And I went to work out in the afternoon, yesterday afternoon, come home, got a shower, got dressed, got food cooked. I cooked some other things, and I had a sandwich with it. Had the sandwich, that was it. History. Done. Didn't have any of that all night. Got up this morning, time to go to work, time to get ready to go to work. I took out the necessary amount of cheese and bologna. I put it on my sandwich. I only made one sandwich, which is, I figured, okay, it's lunch. You can do that. One sandwich is fine. Made one sandwich, done. History. Put it back in the fridge. I didn't have any the rest of the day. Yes, I did my usual Friday thing tonight. I ordered pizza and breadsticks because I had a code and I got a loyalty coupon. I used that loyalty coupon. I got my stuff, got it ordered, ate it, done. I have some left. We'll have it later. It's fine. It has to be, everything has a behavior to it, whether it's trauma, whether it's, just doing things or deflecting or having that feeling, that behavior. It all has that behavior. And this may come into resilience. Being resilient is meaning I don't have to go to those behaviors. I don't have to go to those numbing agents or those things that make me feel good. It is that I have to go to learn to do new things. I have to build new coping skills to not be so pity party-ish or feel so, digging into the trenches of food to numb my feelings or make me feel good. It is all of those things, folks. It is all of those things. And I hope, I hope somebody can hear that today, because somebody may need to hear that. It's just, and it's what got me going. I think, there's been some things that happened over the past week and a half. And, I think, sometimes how precious life is, and how, we have to take care of our bodies. And I'm in my late 30s, and I think, how much time do I really have left in this earth? And I'm going to make it good for me. And I don't want to sit here and wallow in self-pity day in and day out, or cry and, lash out at others. I want to do something good for me. I want to be resilient. I want to keep on going and be that example and live by example and do what is right. So I hope that's what the message is this week, guys. I hope you hear it well. I hope you do it well. I thank you for listening. Have a good week. Try to have a good week this week. I hope so. Just a couple little tidbits. The backdrop is from my parents' house. That's a beautiful sunrise coming up over the skies. Beautiful. My mother took that photo. I must give her credit for that photo. The shirt I have on today is a benefit for Autism Westmoreland. It's to the Greensburg Fire Department, Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Look them up. I might drop a link in the description if they're still selling the shirts, but it's for Autism Awareness Month. And it's Autism Strong, and they have a thing with, if I can turn around, I think I can. It has SpongeBob on the back, and it says, until the pieces all fit. Now, whether you believe that's a puzzle piece thing or not, that's your business. But I felt I needed. It's always something I to support a nice charity, and Greensburg Fire Department. My sister lives in Greensburg, so she's lived in Greensburg for the past decade. So I feel that's very important to support charities in both ends, both the Autism Way as their fundraiser and the fire department. So I want to thank you for listening today. Be sure to like this video if you haven't already. Be sure to tap that notification bell if you haven't had type more notifications. And be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dustin's Dynasty. On the web at DustinsDynastyUSA.com. We'll talk at you later. Bye for now.